showtime!
Yo, we are back. This is the pre-show. I feel like this is the pre-show. But as I said, that was in memory of the one and only. This show is in memory of the one and only Mama Gresh. You know. It is that time. It is that time, man. As you can see, it is Halloween. This is fresh off of NXT. We decided to go with the onesies because we've been working too much and we didn't feel like doing nothing else. So, oh man! But might as well catch up a little bit before we officially start the show. What you been up to, my boy?
Yo, what's going on, man? Shoot, you already know, bro. Just the usual grind, per usual. Been all over the city, just doing gig after gig. Just dealing with some life situations too in a good way. But for the most part, we here, man. It's Halloween. We thugged out in the onesies. Hood Flash and Hood Yoda. You feel me? I don't know. We here.
We here. But now, man, it's been a minute. Like the GRESH Unleashed podcast has been on a hiatus for about 6 months. I think that was the last time we've been gone. But outside of that, like I don't know if you've been catching up, up to date with the newsroom. What's your thoughts on this Keith Lee situation? Not the wrestler, but the food critic coming to Atlanta and basically telling us what we already know, that food here is shit.
You know what's funny, man? Shout out to the comments already. That's what had me just chuckle already. They already getting on these onesies. But as far as the Keith Lee situation, non-wrestling related, that is, man, honestly, I can't say I'm too surprised. As we know with Atlanta, Atlanta's like real black, like black. So it's just a way of saying, bro, we gotta do better, man. We gotta do better. Like, shout out to the restaurants that did get some good critique, but to the ones that just got straight up dragged through the mud, yeesh.
Like the real milk and honey.
Yeah, man. Chick-fil-A would not be pleased. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way I can put it, dog. Like, you can't get better service than what you get at Chick-fil-A most times, and so anybody knows that's all I can say. Hey, milk and honey, Chick-fil-A is not pleased, bruh. And that's
let's
my
not
way
get
of
them
saying
confused. It's the real milk and honey. Milk and honey is a whole different.
Facts. You right. I'm sorry. You know what? The real milk and honey, ladies and gentlemen. You got to make sure you put the emphasis on the word "the." You know what I mean?
I was there with Tessa when she came here, and food was decent, but it wasn't something that I would rave about. Like, I don't go out of my way for it. I wouldn't go out of my way for it because it's like the experience was basic. It was whatever. So I'm not really like surprised that people like felt like it was crap service. And then you had the owner go on there talking about people don't go to restaurants for the experience, they go for the food. Sir, I can cook food at home. I go for the experience. If I want a basic ass shrimp and grits, I'll cook it myself. Cause I would make basic ass shrimp and grits. Like, the whole situation was good, but was strange. But yeah, I see MFB in the chat talking about our onesies.
Legit though, bro. I gotta sentiment that with you, bro. Like, usually you go to a restaurant for the experience, the vibe. Whether you with a crew, whether you with your lady, you know what I'm saying, you date whoever, you know what I'm saying. But I don't
Fact.
know, dog. You know what I mean? Like you said, bro, it defeats the purpose, man. You saw the video, it's like, yeah, nah, we'll go somewhere else. You know, thank you. You know what I mean? He still tried to be nice. Tried to give him chances, bro. Crazy.
Crazy. But before I hit this, before I hit this button, I guess people will probably want to know what I've been up to if you before we officially start the show.
That one was good.
I know we've been to Detroit. Yeah, that was a thing that was going to be a vlog that didn't get released because it was crap.
Yeah.
But it's some stories on there that we'll eventually tell over time that you guys will release the stories that we told. But basically, it was an experience in Detroit. We met some dope people, some dope creators. Had a stalker, I
Uh-oh.
guess you can say.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we had I wouldn't call the kid a stalker. He just didn't know how to read the room.
Yeah, I
And
didn't get the point. But it's cool. You feel me? It's
I
all
got canceled for like 2 weeks
mm.
on Twitter because long story short, I'm not gonna harp on it that situation anymore. It was basically me not reading the room. I got ghosted. I didn't read the room. The person decided to harp up a one-sided conversation that she conveniently forgot to tell people that she reached out to me and I told her and I repeatedly apologized for said messages. But people got to get they tweets off. And I got canceled. People started like distancing themselves from me. They started blocking me and all this stuff. And then honestly, and obviously with that happening, I also unfortunately, as you saw the opening graphic, I lost my mother unexpectedly. It'll be a month on the 3rd of November. And when that happened, my entire, I guess you can say, life perspective changed to the point where it's like stuff that I've done in the past that I've been like genuinely held accountable for is in the past because I've spent my time like away from social media. I've been on social media, but like not as involved as I used to be before all this happened. Like if I like people don't really realize like before we get into the show, because I know we got a lot of show to get into, but people don't realize that when I put my post out, I wasn't expecting the amount of condolences and love both behind the scenes and in person uh as I got. And that's how I can tell you genuinely that's how I kept myself sane throughout this entire process because it's like yeah, I was a crappy person at one point, but one thing I appreciate about my mom was that she called me out like straight up. That was way before she unfortunately died. She held me out. She's like, "Bro, you are losing your way. I need you to get this right. I didn't raise you to be this way." And it's like from that day to this one, and that was in September. I have been on a mission to legitimately just be my true authentic self and getting that love and condolence and like basically guidance from all these people, whether it was in person or online. I appreciate every last one of y'all, like Public Enemies Podcast, Keeks, uh, AJ Francis, Top Dollar, all these people reaching out to me and just giving their condolences, especially people who actually had experience of losing a parent, a mother, and especially unexpectedly because this wasn't just a simple. And the reason why I brought this up and tied this into me, quote unquote, getting canceled or whatever, is because what took my mom out was she had people like throwing dirt on her name. And one thing you don't ever do is like one thing in life people value is their name. And when I caught myself losing my peace, my patience about my name, that's when I'm like, and then I saw what it did to her. It took her out of here. It her trying to protect her name stressed her to death. That woke me up to where it's like I can apologize for my choices, my mistakes, but one thing I am not going to do is ponder on you bringing it up to me every single day. Not you, but like in general. So it's like I said last year, and I say this again this year, my past mistakes that you're quote unquote holding me accountable for, where you constantly bring it up, even though I've held myself accountable for and have taken the steps to move forward, you holding me accountable is none of my current business. Basically, I mean, I don't see myself wasting my time trying to constantly apologize for something that, even if you look at it, it wasn't major, but I'm not dismissing anybody's feelings for it. I completely understand why certain people just like want to distance themselves from me, and that is fine. I commend you for that. I am not on here trying to get people to unblock me to get my side of the story, or the fact that old girl reached out to me and told me to go to hell while I'm in the middle of grieving. I don't care about her, the people who think they're almighty Captain Saberho. That's none of my concern anymore. My whole life has shifted to where if it's not bringing me joy, laughter, peace, I don't care. I don't care for you. I don't care for you. That's my goal with this, with the return of this podcast and this show, is to create a new clean slate. Like, if I got beef, if you think I have beef with you, I don't have beef with nobody. I'm cool with it. Like, I'm not cool with everybody, but like, I have no hatred towards anybody. I wish everybody well. I wish every person that has ever rocked with me, that don't no longer rock with me, or whatever the case may be, I wish you well. But just don't expect me to like interact with you, because I'm gonna treat you like a ghost. And that's with the respect. Like, that's not me. Like, if I mute you, I no longer acknowledge your existence. And that's just to protect my peace. But I feel like we wasted too much time. Like, outside of that, let's we got a lot to talk about. And I guess I might as well go ahead and cue the intro. Like, I might as well do it properly. We was already on CP time with everybody. And
Come
I already
on.
know, I already know people were like, hey, bro, you said it's 10:15, but it's like 10:39 now, because you decided to, like, my fault. My fault. Like, see, NXT went over. I thought NXT ended at 10:08, but they decided to go 10:15 for some reason. And then we had minor technical difficulties. But we back. So producer
Let's go.
man, cue the intro. Cue the intro.
Intro.
Ladies and gentlemen, stand to your feet and make noise for GRESH UNLEASHED!
Let's go! When the club go around here, I'm the cactus. Bang, bang, gang, I don't owe you jack. When I'm in the ring, it's just me and my best friends. OC cutting no slack. Hollywood Miz, you can put me on the A-list. GRESH Unleashed, better put it on your playlist. Me and my fam be ballin' like the Bruce. Fight night, baby, hard hitting like Sheamus. Family first, yes, bloodline business. Winning all the gold, look at how they witness. I was taught to be the greatest. 1,000 days I'm running, check out the book of Guinness. Coolin' with the baddies in the baddie section. Guarantee you they ain't jaded. Yellow, you baby face, I ain't feeling your gimmick. The fans think it's overrated. Brock Lesnar on the beast. Eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. Whole new swag with a price on the tag. Coming live from the west to the east. Better recognize on the mouthpiece. See the power level gotta increase. Bringing content on the daily. Feeling like GRESH Unleashed.
Yeah. Greetings and salutations, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, non-binary pals, baby mamas, baby daddies, and everybody in between. We are back. Welcome back to the GRESH Unleashed podcast. This is officially the season premiere, aka episode 45 of this illustrious, soon-to-be illustrious podcast. Joining you, as always, is the voice that does the most, the purveyor of mischief, GRESH, rocking his baby Yoda. I think his name is Is it Goru? Guru, something like that. Whatever his name is. This is his singlet. And joining me as always is my tag team partner, my boy, my main man, the voice of the GRESH Unleashed podcast, because he is the voice behind the Unleashed Anthem. And speaking of the Unleashed Anthem that just dropped today, you can actually scan this QR code right here. He is none other than the voice of Lisa Botch, Mr. Highlight Real. What's up with y'all, partner?
Hey, partner. There we go. Just had to make sure I wasn't muted real quick. But what's going on, good brother? Tag team partner. You know what I'm saying? We in here ready to go live. You know what I'm saying? Well, we is live, but y'all know what I mean. But basically, we two dressed up dudes on a Halloween night, litty and ready to roll for the people. So we here.
I look like Yoda from the hood. Like I look like a nigga.
Hood Yoda, baby. Hood Yoda.
I'm nigga
flag.
Yoda. We had old OG in metaphor. He was the hood Shaggy. I'm the hood Yoda.
Come on.
I'm the nigga Yoda. He's the hood Yoda. Like, you know, we gotta keep a vibe going. Like, for those of you who knew or the OGs from seasons 1 and 2, we officially back.
We back.
You know, we got to do it right because we're gonna be talking about NXT Halloween Havoc. We're gonna be talking about TNA wrestling being back. That's a thing. We're gonna be talking about. We're gonna be giving our predictions for Crown Jewel 2023. That's this Saturday, and that's gonna be crazy.
Crazy.
And then we got the story of the Vladimir, the super fan documentary that just dropped this week. We're gonna talk about that as well. So much. We're gonna talk about this week in wrestling too. Like, we got a lot of questions that have been ran through the grapevine that is the X Twitter. Oh yeah, that's another thing that happened while we were away. Twitter became X for some reason.
Yeah. What the?
Your mama named you Twitter. I'm going to call you Twitter, motherfucker. But nevertheless, speaking of Twitter and support, shout out to Patreon. I've been away for the month of October for obvious reasons, but shout out to Patreon for those of you who still rock with us over on Patreon. The content is flowing back because this is my first full-fledged content appearance since my mom went on and gained her wings. So, you know, the content is flowing back. Got a lot of stuff going on. And speaking of that, we got some news that we're going to talk about right here. GRESH on YouTube news. That was a nice little segue for that. The content will resume very soon. Like I said, I've been away, but I'm back to thinking about where I want to take the channel going forward. Asking myself, do I want to continue with the WWE 2K23 What If fantasy booking videos? And if I do continue them, what can I do to stand out with them? Because you have other creators doing similar things. And for those who have been rocking with me since my Universe Mode days, knows that I don't like to feel complacent with my content, which is why this show went on a hiatus for as long as it did. So when I make a decision on the future of the 2K videos, you will indeed know. But what I know for sure is that it is going to become more prominent on the channel as we close out 2023, head into the new year, is the wrestling retrospectives. As many of you are aware, I was supposed to do a TNA month of retrospectives in October, which would have culminated with me reviewing Bound for Glory, but the loss in the family put that on hold until December, because what I am going to do is shift that challenge to December and record those videos in a batch and schedule them to be released on Patreon. As I mentioned, Patreon, you know, that's a thing too. Patreon, they're going to get it early, and then I'm going to make them public to end out the year as we prepare for the legit return of TNA wrestling in 2024 that we are going to talk about. I think that's all the news I got. Let me take these shades off because I feel like who wears shades on the inside of a building? Like who does that? Who does that?
Take the mask off.
I don't get it.
Got a little annoying up there.
But as we move forward on with the show, you watch football?
Of course.
This is the new segment that we got here on the GRESH Unleashed podcast, the 60-second football roundup, where I got 60 seconds to talk about what I want to talk about, and my boy Highlight got 60 seconds to talk about what he want to talk about. So 2 minutes of football talk. I know you guys want to talk wrestling, but you know we gotta football on. Like y'all be arguing about wrestling at like 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I'll be still asleep in my turtleneck. I don't really have a turtleneck, but I gotta feel like I'm Christian Cage. So I be sleep and y'all be up arguing about who is the wrestler of the year or some shit. Like, go eat some cereal, please. Like, relax. But when we say football on, football is on. And if you like this segment, make sure you let us know, and we'll keep it around. It's gonna stick around regardless because it's my show, but still, it's like, let us know if you vibe with this segment. So might as well start off backwards. Start off with a little Monday Night Football, Lions versus Raiders. You had the Lions versus Raiders. I'm a Lions guy, so the Lions control most of the game statistically until Josh Jacobs brought them back in during the second quarter, keeping the game 9-7 until Sam Laporta bumping the Lions up 16-7. So it was a nice little back and forth game once that second half hit. I know what I'm talking about. Like I do my research. Until the Lions was 16-7 for a good minute until Marcus Peters, number 24, got his seven career pick 6. That's what it is. I'm getting a little tongue tied because I'm excited about doing this because I love talking about football now. Like it's been a minute since I like talk about anything other than wrestling. So let's talk about a little football. So he got his seventh career pick 6 to pump the Raiders up to 14 until Gibbs ran to pump the Lions up to 26, headed into the fourth. And despite trying their damnedest, the Raiders lost to the Lions. And let's just say First Take went to town on them this morning. I peeped what Stephen A. had to say about him. So good luck with that. Trash, bro. Let's talk a little bit about NFL Sunday. Miami Dolphins got the dub over the New England Patriots 31-17. Yes, sir. My Dolphins got the dub. My Dolphins is my main team. The Lions are my backup team. So I had people always talking about, why you got the Lions in the? And I'm like, bro, you wasn't around when I was picking teams. Shut up. I'm stuck here now. We gonna ride the wave. Tennessee Titans got the dub over the Atlanta Falcons. Yes, sir. For them Falcons. And then the Denver Broncos got the dub over the Kansas City Chiefs, which shocked me because they broke the undefeated streak that has been around since 2015.
Sheesh.
And that's my 60 seconds about football. But Dwayne,
what's up,
yours? Let's talk about some football for 60 seconds. Go.
Well, I'm gonna pick up where you left off since you said F them Falcons, you know what I'm saying? Because your boy is a Tennessee Titans fan, you feel me? And see, I'm not excited more so about the win. It's more so about the fact that we made a change at quarterback, ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, Ryan Tannehill has been complete trash this season. And I mean trash because he is getting older, and it's clear because he was not it. This offense had been suffering all season. We was literally coming into this week 2-4, okay, at the bottom of the division. And I was getting real upset, about to really hang it up and just check out. Basketball season has started. I was about to be in basketball mode, focus on my Grizzlies. And then I said, wait. We got a new start coming. All right, Tannehill goes down with an ankle injury, ladies and gentlemen. Next thing you know, I found out Malik Willis was going to start. And I'm like, okay, let's give him another chance. Next thing I know, I hear Will Levis is starting. I'm like, Will Levis? Oh, he's getting the start? Okay, let's see. Shout out to my boy Mike Jeezy. We was chilling, cooling at the Hooters, watching the game. And he's a residential Falcons fan, so we were going back and forth, talking friendly trash in a good way. He was a cool Falcons fan. He wasn't cocky. So, in the process, I couldn't help but just notice every time Will Levis had the ball, y'all, that boy D-Hop, you might know the name, DeAndre Hopkins, veteran wide receiver, one of the best wide receivers in the game, future Hall of Famer, caught not only his first touchdown pass on the season, y'all, he caught 3 touchdowns. 3! Ryan Tannehill couldn't throw him 1, and he threw 3 to this man in one freaking season. One game. Rookie, first start. Got 3 touchdowns to the star wide receiver and got 4 touchdowns to Ryan Tannehill's 2 touchdowns all season. We are in week 8, ladies and gentlemen, going on week 9. Let that sink in. Thank you very much. I don't even think That's 60. That's it. That's all I got.
It was 2 minutes, but we good. We're gonna get the time. We're gonna get the time eventually. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the 60-second roundup. And next week we're gonna introduce a new segment, which is gonna be titled Either or Both of Them. But the reason why we was gonna introduce it tonight, but we forgot to prepare for this segment, so we're gonna move on until next week. I
sure had some.
You had some? You had some?
I had some, bro. I did my homework. I got you.
So, ladies and gentlemen, ignore everything I just said. We're going to officially start our brand new segment this week. So, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, let's still transition into it because we live, baby. Like, yeah, it's been a minute, been 6 months, so you got to bear with us. Come on. The brand new segment after our football roundup is something that I pretty much created because I need more stuff for this show, and it is called Either or Both of.
Let's go.
And basically, it is where we create 2 random wrestling scenarios that we would have up to 90 seconds to choose and explain why it could or could not work. And if the person can't choose, their safe word or cop-out word is to say both of. So, Mr. Highlight.
Okay.
Lay your two scenarios on me.
Okay. Well, so this is gonna be interesting, my friend. So I hope you're really prepared for what I got for you, dog. Might even throw a little Halloween one in here since it's Halloween's technically still. But for my first question on you on this segment, sir, would you spend a day with any single woman of your choosing on the WWE roster, or get paid $1 million from Tony Khan right now?
90 seconds, right? 90 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. Do I want to? Who is single in WWE is the question, because I feel like everybody's dating.
It's quite a few of them, my brother. You know, you got some single ones out there. This counts as the main roster and NXT, so you know.
How much time do I have left? Because this is hard. So I love money. I can make money. But if I had the opportunity to spend some time with some of them women, you said one, right?
One. Gotta choose one.
Okay, damn. I'm about to start a monogamy up in here. I'm about to start a poly relationship in here. But if I had to choose one, I'm sorry, Miss Jackson. Ooh.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, if you do not know this man's fandom for Miss Jakara Jackson, Miss Jackson, if you're nasty. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this man
Jackson about that action. Let's be respectful. Miss Jackson, she about that action. She's a little injured right now, but it's like, would I take money? I mean, yeah, but it's Jakara Jackson. Like I can't even front. I can't front.
Okay.
Right. So now you got two. You got to do 2 for yourself.
I gotta do 2 for myself. Okay. So, all right. So in this one, I'm gonna ask myself this question because this is half wrestling, half non-wrestling related. But last 12 rounds with Prime Mike Tyson for a free trip to the Bahamas.
What?
Or take a finisher from any wrestler for a lifetime of not having to work.
What you gonna pick?
Hey man, you know, you say you know which one you'll pick?
Yes.
You know, I had to say I'm gonna take a finisher because of the fact that you talking about a lifetime of not having to work. I mean, sure, who wouldn't want to try to avoid getting that one punch from Mike? You know, but it's a trip to the Bahamas. You can plan for that. You know, get a cruise. You're good. I'm gonna take that finisher, homie. I'm gonna take that finisher. But these 2 I got are non-wrestling related, y'all. So I had to do this. Last one. All right. So out of this one, This is where it's really, really tricky. I'm gonna do this one because it's Halloween. That's what I'll do. Spend the night on Camp Crystal Lake for $200 million, or survive 5 nights at Freddy's for 3 magical wishes of your choosing.
I'm black. I ain't doing none of that shit.
Hey, boy, you gotta choose. You gotta say which one. Hey, come
I ain't
on,
going
man.
into Freddy. I'm telling you that right now.
He said, "I'm not going into." So you gonna stay on Camp Crystal Lake with Jason?
I mean, yeah, because I can just shoot him. Like, I know how to survive against these dudes. I'm just going to shoot somebody.
Oh man, I for sure thought you would have shot the animatronics. You know what I mean? Machines. You know what I mean? But look at that. Look at that. Look at that.
Gresh being inside Freddy after that. All right, man.
I like that. I like that. Shout out to y'all out there interacting with us, baby. We appreciate that for real. I hope y'all like those on this round. You feel me?
Yeah, and that's gonna be a recurring thing, the football segment and the either or both of them. Just a nice little icebreaker to kind of like set the tone and the vibes that we're gonna be on. And we got some more for you. All right, so we might as well talk about it because that's what pretty much was literally on just a few minutes ago. NXT Halloween Havoc. Have you seen? Did you see last week?
I did.
What you like about it?
Man. I liked some of the segments, like even though we saw where it led to today. Well, first off, the ladies showed out. I felt like Roxanne Perez and my girl, you already know, rocks with Kiana James. You know what I'm saying? She's growing on me more and more each week. I hate she took the L, but I understand it's Roxanne Perez. She kind of needed it a little bit more. But those ladies went in. They kind of did their thing for her.
Honestly, with Roxanne, it's like Kiana, she stayed losing. Like I think she kind of needed it more a little bit.
I agree. They have been kind of just using her like as a punching bag or something.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. Yeah, she kind of. Yeah, it's like I feel like she just stayed losing. Also, what else you liked about it?
Like I said, some of the segments for sure. I definitely like. I found it entertaining what they did with the Tiffany Stratton and Fallon Henley situation. I thought that was kind of hilarious that she literally dressed up as Tiffany and like nailed it down to a T. And I'm just like, dang, bro. I'm mad that that's what resulted tonight, what we got, because I was really kind of looking forward to how that played out. But it was like, well, so much for that. So
I guess we'll talk about it when we get tonight too. But I think that's probably kind of like their way to reestablish Tiffany.
Yeah,
so she has been taking L's like crazy.
She has, and I guess I'm gonna just keep it on the women here, really, because even with the main event, I'm not gonna say that was Becky's best match out of these NXT title matches per se. It was up there. I was not expecting Becky to lose that title that soon, given that a lot of people were feeling like she was gonna hold on to that at least till we got closer to WrestleMania. But it makes sense. If you're gonna pass it up, go ahead and pass it to this story of someone who's your fellow native and had that same dream to win this title. So congrats to Lyra Valkyrie for, winning this.
Is it Valkyrie or Valkyria?
Valkyria, yeah, Valkyria. See, man, these names.
don't feel bad because I had to correct myself too. I was like, is it
Valkyrie? Yeah, I'm thinking of Taya, and I'm like, wait a minute.
That would throw you off because it threw me off too. Like Valkyrie.
Yeah, it's my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's probably like I'm telling you guys now. It's probably gonna be a night of butchered names. Like it happens. Like we're from the South. Like some words we don't hear.
Legit. And I do want to say I agree. She did elevate that title for sure. I mean, props to her for literally. I ain't gonna lie, it was a little weird at times seeing that title defended on Raw. But then again, what NXT title hasn't been defended on the main roster at this point?
Didn't Braun Breaker win the title back on Raw?
Pretty much, yeah. So At this point, it's just a regular now. So shout out to them for that. It's definitely another brand if they never considered it that.
And keeping it to the women, because while we were away, because last time we was on this show, this woman was in AEW dominating, and now she's cooking or keeping everybody's attention on NXT. The queen herself, Jade Cargill.
Look at that goddess. Just look at the throne, y'all. Y'all see this? Y'all, you can't touch it, man. You can't. It's just
like, so what you think they doing with her? Like, you think they just using her for clicks, or do you think they're just like they're keeping her in the limelight to kind of keep you talking about her while she prepare for whatever they got for her?
I think they're keeping her in the limelight for sure. I hope they don't do this too long, because after a while it gets a little stale. Think about Lacey Evans, for example, when they debuted her and she would just walk out and walk back, and you're like, where is this going? Like at first he was like, okay, that was kind of interesting the first couple of weeks or whatever, and after a while you were just like, is she gonna do anything? So in Jade's case, we know it's coming. It's just a matter of I like how you'll see her pop up brand to brand, NXT, Raw, pay-per-view, SmackDown. So I'm thinking we'll probably see her at least between Survivor Series and Royal Rumble somewhere in some type of fashion. That's what I'm thinking. But
you think she's going after Becky?
That's a good call, because it would be something for Becky to do, as long as it doesn't mess up her momentum trying to get to Rhea.
Because they did sort of tease that on Raw. We'll talk about that when we get to Raw a little bit in passing. But yeah, they sort of kind of teased that as well. So we don't like I believe that's probably why they took the title off of Becky, because they kind of want probably. Do you think that would be the Royal Rumble winner, or you think that would be a waste of a Rumble win?
For Becky or for Jade?
For Becky. Because they're obviously setting up Becky versus Rhea. That's just a given at this point.
I mean, when you think about it, I don't think we've had yes, we have. Did Bianca win it once or twice? She won it twice, right? Once? Okay, so
2021.
That's what I thought. Okay, so yeah, I don't think a woman's won it twice yet. So I guess Becky winning it, if they don't have any other ideas for anyone else, it makes sense. Unless they're going the Elimination Chamber route for her.
True. Yeah, because they can. It's a lot of because Elimination Chamber is in Australia, isn't it? Next year.
Yeah, it is.
So a lot of international shows next year. I'm cool with that. Like those international crowds be crazy. They
showing out, boy. They making us want to take a trip overseas when you get these passports right, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But there's so many possibilities they can do with Jade. Like I feel like they can go either way with her. But I mean, outside of that, anything from night one that kind of stands out, because so much happened tonight, it's kind of hard to just harp on last week. And that's what people need to understand with NXT. People need to understand NXT is legitimately just a show that is moving nonstop. Moving like the speed of light. Like you just moving. So it's like if you don't talk about it the day of, you're gonna forget about it.
Yeah, and I agree, because the whole night one, night two thing, when it's week to week, that's a little weird. You know what I mean? If they would have had a way to do it like how they did like a WrestleMania, where it's like it's a little more fresh on the memory. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But, Chase, you won the titles.
Yeah, that was a cool moment. Very unexpected, because I remember like thinking to myself, Stax and Tony D were. I mean,
they only had one title defense and then lost the titles.
Yeah, and it was like. They were fan favorites, but Chase U, it's the right call, because Chase U is kind of like, they've been hot for a long time. And this is one of them cases, man, you happy for this duo right here, man. They've been killing it out there. Shout out to the university, man. You know what I'm saying? I need to get me a Chase U shirt, baby. Let's go. Oh,
But all right, let's talk about night 2 because that's pretty much fresh on everyone's mind.
mhm,
They started off with the Creed brothers versus Angel Garza and Humberto Carlito. The brothers versus the cousins
mhm.
in I believe it was a tables, ladders, and stairs match. So it was basically Full Metal Mayhem if you watch TNA, or yeah, pretty much. So if you watch TNA, Full Metal Mayhem. But them boys cooked that. Like I can't even front with you. Like them boys went crazy.
Yeah, man. What a way to open the show for real. Like that sets the tone. And I want to say honestly, just off the jump, I don't think maybe with the exception of the main event, I don't think anything really matched what that gave.
Oh no.
Yeah,
Because
because
it felt like every match was non-existent. It was pretty much Halloween. So it's
yeah,
kind of like they didn't really go too crazy. Like I mean, I give the NXT breakout the women's tournament, I give that a solid like a solid 5 out of 10. Like they're pretty fresh in the game. Like they're not out here. It looked like they was literally following along the script. Like you're not gonna expect them to give you a quote unquote proverbial 5-star classic. That being Lola Vice and Kiana. Was it Kiana?
Kalani Jordan.
Kalani Jordan.
Yes.
Kalani Jordan. So it's like you're not gonna expect a 5-star classic. And if you are an idiot. Real talk.
Big fan.
So it's kind of like, all right, it was pretty fast paced, pretty crazy. I appreciate the hustle that they brought to the opening match. Real, like I brought like, and then the bumps they was taking, like the Creed brothers, they went from being a beast on Raw and then coming to NXT, and it's like,
yeah, man.
It's like Team Angle, American Alpha merged and created these motherfuckers.
Yeah, and let's not forget Team Lesnar if you want to throw those big beefy sons of guns in there too. Even though it was never a stable, at least it was a Survivor Series.
That I forgot all about that team.
Oh man,
I forgot all about that team, man.
Yeah,
we had Survivor Series and all that stuff. Like, yeah. So I'm saying, like, the Creed brothers are legitimately two of the most, like, I can't explain it. Like, they are entertaining as all hell, and it's like,
yeah,
they're not. It's like I think what draws me to like them a lot is the fact that they are. It's like they aren't crisp like most people expect them to be. It looks like they're in a real fight and they're fighting for their life and they're winning because they legit know how to take a punch and punch you right back.
Yeah, man. True athletes at their finest. And sky's the limit really for these guys. You can see the Rockets getting strapped to them for sure. Like you said, 2 back-to-back matches that cook, because what they did with Alpha Academy, I mean, sheesh. You know what I mean? Like that backflip and all, just how they, bro, it was all crazy.
It was crazy.
Like, I was just, and then to turn around and do a whole like super cannonball through a table, like, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't expect them to win in my predictions. Shout out to my co-host Ash from the Life's Box podcast. I picked them to win. She had the cousins winning in Carrillo and Garza, but I figured for some reason they were gonna win and didn't even realize they had got called to the main roster because I was a little late to Raw last night in terms of watching it. And so,
do you think it's a full-time call-up?
It appears to be so, bro. From what I heard in reports, they're saying that this is a legit full call-up. Like, they are officially on the main roster. And so if that's the case, then I'm kind of surprised they won, because usually when you transition like that, they usually kind of have the other person go over. But hey, man, what an endorsement, what a debut, and that right there, they could fight forever, and I'd be perfectly fine with it, just because that's like that's a stable in its own right to me, man. That's like 4 legitimate athletes.
That could be the new. They can just drop the Diamond Mine thing and just say they're a part of Alpha Academy if they want.
They really could. They really could, man. Don't know what that means for Maxine. You know, they'd have to figure that out because you can't have two ladies in that thing.
Yes, you can.
You can?
Yes.
Well, no, that's right because she doesn't wrestle like that. So I mean,
That's what I'm saying. You can. She can literally just. She's literally the manager. Like
yeah,
she
she'd
had
be the manager. Let Ivy be the wrestler. Yeah, yeah, that could work. You're right. You're right.
Yeah, you don't have to. You don't have to limit them like that. You don't have to limit them to one woman per stable. It'll look weird with 4 dudes and 1 woman.
Yeah, fair point.
Like balance it out. Like if you're gonna put put them all in a hat, and you can have interesting like fun segments of Maxine and Ivy training in the dojo.
Oh
like
yeah,
you could do a whole bunch of like you could literally write like a month worth of backstage skits just for Ivy, Maxine, the Creeds, Maxine, the Creeds, and Chad Gable and Otis. Like it's so like I'm talking about if they want to keep them all if they merge them together, or they can just keep them separate and just split the tag team titles and just have them cook on Raw and have the tag team on SmackDown cook on SmackDown.
Yeah,
and just drop the show names and just have the WWE and World Tag Team titles. Bring those.
Yeah, I like that, man. I hope we get that like sooner than later, man, because I am so tired of seeing these belts like together. And I'm like, we got different general managers now, which also is a thing that happened since we last went away.
Oh yeah, now we got was Madam Pierce is on Raw, and Nick Aldis, Magnus. If you watch classic TNA,
good old Magnus.
He's now the official general manager on SmackDown. What's your thoughts on them bringing back the general managers?
I loved it. I was for it, bro. I actually got hyped. Like even when it was Nick Aldis, I know a lot of people gave negative reaction because they were like they either didn't know who he was because they didn't watch TNA or NWA or anything.
They didn't know. Like let's be real. And it's like not every. That's what one thing about wrestling Twitter, wrestling social media, Facebook. Well, that's a cesspool. But wrestling, like online, things don't know these people, and that is perfectly fine.
Perfectly fine.
I promise. It is normal for people not to know people.
Oh yeah, yeah. I agree because it was like we know, but to the people that didn't, I mean, I wasn't like mad at people who didn't know him, but people were tripping off the reaction because of that. But also they're tripping off the fact that
they nonchalantly introduced him too. They said, "Oh yeah, Nick Aldis."
Yeah, like no theme music, no nothing. And then I think what really got people was also the fact like, dude, just literally can still go, and they're like, "Why do you have him as an authority figure?" But they don't understand that's really a good way to introduce him, like.
Because you never know, like he can literally come out of his suit and wrestle and make it a big deal. Like you don't like. Let's be honest. It's like in WWE, it's like you have a lot of wrestlers that just wrestle, but you barely have authority figures that wrestle. We haven't had that since I feel like since before they got rid of the authority figures, like with Baron Corbin, Constable Corbin. That wasn't as good, but it's like I have a feeling if they handle it right. And also, that's speaking of handling it right, Triple H is the boss officially in creative since we last been here.
Oh yeah, 100%.
He's since TKO Group now owns WWE. WWE is no longer a separate entity; they are under an umbrella with the UFC, so they own that. So now with Triple H in charge, I feel like stories will probably make more sense with Nick Aldis doing that. Continuing with NXT, so far so good though, because they kind of teased a little brand turmoil with the GMs. So we'll see what they go with that heading into Survivor Series. And continuing with NXT Halloween Havoc, Joe Gacy cut a backstage promo and he said words.
Yeah. Talk about. I mean, you wonder why they, I guess, compare this guy to Bray as a knockoff or something. I don't know. However you want to view the guy. I mean, I try my best to like him. He convinces me, but like you said, he's just kind of saying words. They sound good, but you're like, I don't really know what you're hinting here. So let's just see. Should be interesting, I guess.
I was too high to comprehend it, so I just said whatever.
I just want to know: are you like alone, my guy, this time, or you got a stable again? Or it sounds like he's gonna be alone this time.
It sounds like he's gonna be a loner. So, okay, cool. And speaking of what we talked about with Tiffany and Fallon, they basically did the Bret Hart spot with the ring post was it figure four they, to injure her a little bit. So there's that. What's your thoughts on this?
In all honesty, a bit disappointed because I actually wanted to see these ladies go at it. In Fallon's case, we hadn't really seen her like in ring action in a while, so I wanted to see if like maybe she's improved some more. Just wanted to see more out of her, and then we got this. But I guess it's a good way to just start the feud some more, add more fuel to it, and get a full legit match out of it. But it makes Tiffany look definitely more dangerous, like a woman who wants her title back. So I'm all
Who was
for
Tiffany
it.
dressed as here? Was it Tiffany Valentine? I saw that on Twitter.
Yeah, man, me trying to understand who these folks are dressed up as sometimes. For all we know, she was just Tiffany. Like, she is obsessed with herself. So for all we know, she was just Tiffany.
She was just.
Yes.
And speaking of being obsessed with stuff, I am, like I said, we are obsessed. But they started after that. They did the haunted house gimmick that they did with Metaphor, Noam Dar, Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend, and his name is slipping my mind. I'm high. Pardon my brain fart. What is his name? Or is it Ora Mendoza? No.
Oh,
Menza. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like I literally had a brain fart thinking of this man's name. I'm like, what is this man's name? But they did that, and it was dressed as Scooby in the game.
Yeah. Well, Scooby in the game with a hood Shaggy apparently.
he was a nigga Shaggy.
Yeah, I'm like, okay. I like cool. I guess watch the Velma series on Hulu that just flopped tremendously. So
see, I respect Lash Legend continuing the game of including the Velmas.
Yes,
because that's all I've been liking these past 2 days. It's just Velmas.
A lot of Velmas lately.
I've been seeing some Velmas on. Like, shout out to y'all with y'all Velmas, because y'all never fail
at all.
And shout out to the goofs that wants to complain about women dressing sexy on Halloween. Go to hell. That's all I got to say about that. Y'all gonna go to hell. Like, you're not finna run these gorgeous women off from dressing up how they want to dress. You gonna just shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Legit.
That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Like, you about to make me sound like Bernie Mac up in here. Do not look him, motherfucker. Don't fuck up the vibes because you don't want to get some bitches.
Come on now.
That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say about that. All right. Next up, we had the NXT North American Championship match between Grape Street Jesus and receding hairline Jesus from around the way. The reason why I brought that up, shout out to Hang 'em High on Twitter. You see this joke? He said my boy's hairline look like a Nintendo 64 controller.
Yeah, homie, you might well go on here. Just let it go. Let it go, dog. Let it go. You don't need it. Let it go. Go bald, my guy. It's time. It's time.
but nah, I seen the way his head shaped when he had it in a ponytail. Bro, gonna look like a mashed potato. just them little smack. You know how when women give childbirth and they legs clamp because they be in so much pain, it looked like his head got stuck between his whoever gave birth to him's legs, and they forgot to mold it. Like his head is shaped. It's shaped like a little slide, like you finna go down a roller coaster.
Oh no!
Like when it's in ponytail, because it's like it's not JD McDonough.
Oh god!
But it's like it's his head ain't really built. You know how some people's head are built for being bald. Like my head is big, but I can go bald.
For sure.
He can't go bald. That brother's gonna have to get some extensions. He got money now. He works for WWE, NXT. I don't know what his financial situation is, but he might have to get some extensions, just like John Cena, to go ahead and get rid of that bald patch.
Ooh, what?
That's all I'm gonna say. But and then Rhea broke Twitter
Yeah, surprise, man.
She was dressed as an officer, and then they had a chant from the crowd, please arrest me, or something like that. They was like they want her to arrest them.
Not to mention the tights was a nice plus. So it was like, well, yeah, it's gonna be some mommy lovers tonight, boy.
What you think about this match, though?
Uh,
Your honest opinion.
kind of hard to. I'll put it this way: Dom's getting better and better, ring wise. He's getting better. Still not like the best, but he's getting better. I see why a lot of people definitely were like he should have started in NXT for sure. Something about that is helping him out a lot. But I couldn't help but notice those botches, man. Like Dominique took some falls where I was like, I don't know if that's on you or Nathan, but somehow, someway, there was some miscommunications because it was a couple times I thought Dom was like legit hurt for a second. Like that dude landed dead on his head.
It could be because Nathan Frazier is faster than he should be. Because remember, at one point this dude had a whiplash because he ran faster than the ropes.
Yeah, that's true. He is a quick son of a gun. So I mean,
it could be just the simple fact that he's just so fast.
Yeah,
that Dom can't really like catch up. If that makes sense, like he can't. He's like it's like sometimes and that's normal. It's like it wasn't a bad match. Trust me, I was entertained the entire match. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
That's one thing I can give credit to Dom. Like Dom, compared to before he turned heel to now, he has come a long way. Just from like I have yet to take a bump, so I can't really like tell you how a worker works, but from my perspective, from as a fan, like I'm enjoying him a lot more in ring wise. Like his frog splash when he picked up the win, because by the way, he retained the title. But when he hit that frog splash, I was like, that's a nice frog splash.
Yeah, like, he's working on it.
You can tell and then also him running the loop at the house shows are helping because I believe this is like his fifth or sixth match within a week.
Yeah, man.
So he's been getting them reps in.
And he's still young. I mean, dude's not even in his prime yet. You know what I mean? That's what a lot of people are forgetting here.
He's like 26, 27?
Yeah, like he's nowhere near, and we know even that's not wrestling prime. You know what I'm saying? Like wrestling prime really is more like upper 30s. You know what I'm saying? So
and even then, you look at guys like Dustin Rhodes, who he hit his prime, but then he's still out here having some dope matches. So it's kind of like when it comes, and that's the tricky thing about wrestling. What is prime? Like some people hit their prime, like LA Knight. He's a good example. Like he's at his peak right now. And he's what, in his 40s?
In his 40s, yeah.
So it's kind of like there's no prime. It's like more so you either got it or you don't. Like that's why I always tell people when they be talking about these next generation wrestlers going to get into wrestling. It's like they either got it or don't. You just gotta either sink or swim. Because I've been watching wrestling long enough to where I've seen next gen wrestlers sink and really sink, like your Snookers or your DiBiase's and all this stuff. And then you got some that flourish and swim. Your Charlotte Flairs. Like I know it's cool. The cool thing now to hate on Charlotte Flair, but I'm giving credit where it's due. Charlotte is one of the best. She's one of the success stories for the next gen. Randy Orton, all these other people. It's like you either sink or swim. You just gotta be able to. You just gotta dive in and get to it. So,
yeah, I second that. And to even just add to your point on Charlotte, real quick before we move on to the next one, she's one of those. I feel like people are gonna really truly miss her when she's like done. You know what I'm saying? Like they're not gonna understand how good they had it. I get the title reigns thing. You know,
it's the same thing with John Cena. Like people.
Yeah,
it was cool. The cool thing to hate on him until he went away, and then next thing you know, he come back. You don't see a boo in sight because you don't know what you have until you miss it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
for sure.
And it's like I'm not finna be the biggest Charlotte Flair advocate.
Oh yeah,
but I'm just saying I'm gonna give credit what it's due. She's one of. There's a reason why they always go to her in these title matches because she draws. Like if you want to be statistic about it. Her rating segments are always higher than the previous segment before her. So she's a draw in some way or shape or form. So it's like, let's just cut a spade and be real. And speaking of spade, Wesley's back.
Yeah, our boy Wesley.
He,
Man. I want to know more about what I saw on your Twitter when someone was like, "Huh," and you were
because you know the story with Trick getting attacked.
like,
They wanted to basically say Wesley was the culprit behind it because he disappeared for a while. So it was like it only makes sense. So for Wes to be coming out here, pretty much debunked that entire theory that Wesley was behind the attack.
you know, that's a pleasant theory. Truth be told, I never really would have thought that because I was wondering what they were probably going to do with Wesley. I didn't know if that meant they were going to try to bring him to the main roster at some point or if they were just going to bring him back. I didn't expect it to be like a time like tonight.
The brother was on vacation. Let's just be real.
Yeah, more than likely. And look at him now. You know what I mean? Ready to come back where he left off. And I think that's perfect because it'd be too crowded to have him back in the title picture right now, given what's going on and what's about to happen. So, like, going back to what he knew best at the moment, that fits. I'm not mad at it.
Yeah. I mean, and then we can all like that's the thing. It's like you don't want to take too many people away from NXT because from certain matches like the NXT Women's Breakout Tournament match and all these other matches, a lot of these people aren't really ready to be on their own just yet. So it's kind of like I kind of get why they don't rush to get them about it, to take everybody to the main roster. That's why I always look at people when they be like, "Oh, this person's ready. Is this person's ready? Why are they still in NXT?" I'm like, bro, if they pull everybody from NXT, they ain't gonna have a show.
Gotta keep the ratings up, Betty.
That's why I be telling people, I'm like, relax, give it time. They'll have their time. And speaking of time, we had Braun Breaker versus Robert Stone, Mr. Stone. This was pretty much a nonchalant match.
Good old Robbie E, man.
I'm about to say that brother got speared so hard he thought he was back in TNA.
Yeah, he got speared so hard. Homeboy ended up getting his whole freaking Jersey Shore hairstyle back, man. I mean, that thing wanted to go whoosh, right back up. But dog, I don't even know what. I mean, I guess I knew what the point of the match was. We got
Von Wagner's back.
Sort of.
Yeah. He's rocking that Triple H SmackDown versus Raw injury head wrap.
Legit though. You know what I mean? So
some people thought he was gonna come back with a mask.
Yeah, okay, I can see why they probably would have thought that. Yeah. Man, yeah, I'm trying to understand why exactly do the match for any reason because it was kind of just like filler from the looks of how that went. So it was like you could have just I don't know. Maybe I don't know. We could have just beat him up and then Von Wagner showed up or something. I don't know. Guess they just wanted to give Braun a win, put him on the card. Who knows? But yeah, should be interesting to see where this feud goes because they had some bangers together. I don't know if Baron Corbin's going to get back in the middle of that, but
I doubt it. I doubt it. Speaking of middle of stuff, did you see that promo that I said I didn't mind? I wasn't mad at. I'm talking about this promo with Out the Mud.
Yeah.
This Grand Theft Auto trio.
Man, listen.
Be honest. Go ahead. It's unleashed, bro.
I can't take Reggie serious, dog. I'm sorry. I just cannot. Them two behind him, I can take them serious. But this guy, okay, let's go back here. The same guy that wrestled Sasha Banks at her time in WWE and basically had a whole crush on the woman.
I can't blame him on that one. Like, let's be real. It's Mercedes.
Agreed. I'm right there with you, brother. It's just more so the fact that we knew that woman was a whole married woman, and you got this man over here crushing on her and all this, right? Then we go from that to you know, let's not forget being Carmella's whole like basically butler kind of situation or whatever.
Smolier.
Smole, yeah, and then chasing 24/7 titles, all this to then getting repackaged, being the Scripps guy. Now you're Reggie, but Scripps is your street name that they called you in the streets.
He
I'm
got shot
sorry,
at. He
hood
got
people,
shot at. He
like,
got.
dog. I'm from Memphis, and my boy Gresh from Atlanta. Okay, no disrespect. Look, being from Memphis, I know some folks out there from St. Louis. You know what I mean? And nobody I know from the streets of St. Louis got a nickname of Scripps. Okay, I ain't never seen no hood. Nobody from no hood with a nickname called Scripps. So the fact that I commend you for really trying to make that believable, bro. But you're not fooling me on that one, dog. I can't take that serious, homie. I can't.
Bro out here said,
Stop the cap. Stop the cap right now. Stop the cap. No bullshit, bro.
he said, "Stop the cap. You are not a street."
I can't, bro. Like I get video game vibes from my guy. You know what I'm saying?
Grand
Like,
Theft Auto, bro.
You know what I mean?
San Andreas.
Yeah. No. I mean, I'm talking like Xavier Woods. I'm a nerd at heart, video gamer type dude that ain't got nothing to do with the street life. You know what I'm saying? And
he was a Crip though at a young age, but he wasn't in there long.
Okay. So
he got a little street cred.
Little stuff. Okay. So, but I mean, even with that though, there's just no way still that they called you Scripps, my guy. I mean, if they did, then maybe that's just how they do in St. Louis. I don't know. If it's anybody from St. Louis, y'all let me know. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I've been to St. Louis a couple times, but I ain't really explored it enough to really know what they like out there. So if somebody out there from St. Louis, y'all let me know how they hood is out there. I don't know. They call them Scripps. Hey, cool. But I like the trio though, man. I want to see more from them. They did good in that. What was it, like a triple threat tag team match when they had a Fatal 4-Way? No, it was a triple threat, right? It was NXT Fatal 4-Way. Okay, yeah, they they did pretty good, man. You know the Puerto Rican Crime Time or Dominican Crime Time. They OTM, man. They nice.
You said Puerto Rican Crime Time.
Yeah, well, Dominican, Puerto Rican. You know there's some Latin in them brothers somewhere. It's like black.
Yeah, they not 100% black. I already know. I know that for a fact.
For sure.
After that, we had the women's tag team tournament. I mean, women's tag team title match. What you think about that match?
Thought it was all right. Kind of about what I expected. You know, this was another one I predicted correctly because the way Chelsea Green's entertaining these women's tag team titles right now in Sonya Deville's absence, I don't think they plan on taking them titles off her anytime soon, dog. Like they riding with that. So it's like either she holding them things until Sonya Deville get back or something. I don't know.
Well, so let's be real. They don't have having tag teams like legit that they legit take serious. So they ain't taking nothing off nobody because there's nobody to give them to. I mean, they're giving the Apple Fire and Isla Dawn, but
yeah, if they want
even that is like.
Or Casey Catanzaro and our girl, you know what I'm saying?
Katana Chance.
Katana Chance, yeah. Wait, I called her old name. That's right.
Kaden Carter and
Kaden Carter and Katana Chance. Sorry, I forgot they changed that name, man. Like, see that's what happens with these name changes, man. That's a trip. Yeah, I mean they're kind of just floating. So
I think they just need to go ahead and after Becky proved that they just need a mid card title for the women and just scrap the tag team titles because they don't take them serious.
Yeah. I mean, it sucks for tag teams like Kaden Carter and Katana Chance because they are a true tag team.
I mean, if you want to be a tag team, go to Impact. That's just the brunt truth. That's
fair because they actually do have tag teams correctly. So that's
what I'm saying. Like, if you want to be a legit tag team, go to Impact because they're in the reason. And I'm not saying that to like dismiss the women's tag team titles and whoever, and who put it on the map or who was fighting for it. But it's like if the company doesn't care, why should I like complain about it? It's like I'm just telling you how they do it. It's like they don't care.
I think NXT cared back when they had tag team titles. The problem was, because they were developing some. You had the Latina couple before they let one of them go. They were kind of like a pairing, and I kind of enjoyed them for a minute.
Mhm.
And then we got Jakara Jackson and Last Legend.
Yeah, that's a tag team.
That's a tag team duo. They got some in NXT for sure. It's just they're not being showcased enough at the moment, per se. But
Mainly because of the breakout tournament. So I wouldn't be surprised if they bounce back
yeah,
and
for sure.
shift the focus again. But that's the thing. It's like they have to make the tag teams on the main rock. Like they need to make it do what they did tonight, and
Yeah.
like have them go back and forth, and have
Yeah.
somebody from NXT win it and go to the main roster to showcase. And then if they want to drop them on the main roster and give them that experience.
Yeah, I like that.
What you think about the women's breakout tournament match? Like I said, like we said at the beginning, it was clean. Lola Vice won. For those of you who don't know, so I saw people reacting. They I guess they wanted Kalani to win, but it's like I kind of look at it like this: Roxanne won last year, and I'm guessing Lola Vice is sort of supposed to be a heel, so they want to rotate it.
Yeah, she's kind of supposed to be. It's funny because in terms of, I guess, character based off how she won, yes. But we see that the fans clearly love her and are behind her, and I don't blame them personally. Ladies and gentlemen, if you follow her on Instagram, for crying out loud, you would be a fan of her too. God dang it! But
yep.
But I mean, I'm interested because when I had to think for a second, and I was like, "Who's the NXT champion again?" And I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right, Valkyria won it." And I'm like, just that quick, it has slipped my mind after Becky lost that title for a second, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right." So Lola, the way she's trending, because I don't think she's really lost a singles match yet. So come to speak of it, she could be your next women's champion soon.
At some point,
At some point, yeah.
Yeah.
So like, we'll see. It depends, because she can do that contract anytime she wants, right? Roxanne just did it on instinct, right?
Yeah, she did it on the tag team titles, I think.
No, remember they won them.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay.
because
It's been a minute.
Cora Jade and her were like besties, and then
Speaking of Cora Jade, what the hell is she?
I don't know, bro. Like she's posting pictures in cop outfits. I'll tell you that much. Man, I don't get it. I don't.
She quit, I guess, on NXT, but it's like, okay, like, is she injured?
Bro,
did she have some changes to whatever is going on with her? Like, I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna be misogynistic about her appearance, but it's like, what's the reason for her not being somewhere? Like, if she quit NXT, why she ain't on Raw? Why she ain't on SmackDown? Like, I'm questioning things. But
me too, bro. I'm right there with you.
Speaking of questioning things, Brian Pillman Jr. He made his debut last week.
Lexis King.
What you think about it? Because I'm still on the point. I'm still on the bandwagon of him being ass. But like, what's your thoughts on him?
I like where he's headed. For one, if this don't tell you a difference of how people in AEW look versus how WWE makes you look, he's an example, as is Jade Cargill. One, that picture he pulled up of Jade Cargill, look how much more attractive she looked now than she even did.
You talking about the WWE like production?
Oh yeah, because you see that lineup on that brother. Do you see how crisp that freaking beard lineup?
Yeah, I see that. I see that drawn on lineup.
Hey dog, homeboy was looking real rugged up in freaking AEW with that beard, bro.
I ain't gonna lie to you. After he got bitched out by MJF, I stopped paying him any attention. So I don't.
I'm really intrigued. I can see some things that I think he'll grow on you in time.
We'll see
where they're headed from here.
I have no faith. We'll see. I have no faith in this guy because what I saw last week, I'm like, okay, you're still Brian Pillman Jr. Congrats. So
Fair.
we'll see. I'll give them 2 more weeks to give me something to clamor to because so far I ain't got nothing. And then speaking of getting something somewhere, we have the main event of the evening for the NXT championship. You have Carmelo Hayes looking to reclaim the title he lost to Ilya Dragunov at NXT No Mercy. So what you think about this opening match? Well, for starters, we had Dragunov out here in the red contact, so I already knew.
Mm-hmm.
And he was out here breathing. He was already out here smoking on that Carmelo pack on his entrance. So
Yeah.
what you think about the match? Do you think it lived up to their first 2 matches?
Honestly, I'm going to say no. And mainly because this one, unfortunately, was on television versus the previous 2 being on like premium live events where it was more time, right? Because with TV constraint, it's only so much you can get in, you know what I mean? So I felt like the pace was kind of somewhat getting there, but you know how we've seen how they turn up. And I don't know, I just felt like it felt a little rushed, you know. That's just my opinion on it. I felt like it was a little rushed here. And then the Trick Williams entrance was just like, well, that pretty much signifies what I knew pretty much from jump, that they made so obvious. Carmelo Hayes, his own homeboy, attacked him. And it's very obvious. You know, you can see
I saw a reply on Twitter where someone was like, they could use it as a way. The reason why, because you saw how they ended, like they didn't really have him flat out say you attacked me. They kind of left you on a cliffhanger because they had Baron Corbin attack Dragunov to close the show as a quick cut. So you kind of like, I saw someone say that they probably are going to use it as like they gave that look to kind of like trick Carmelo either did it or he knows who did it. But me personally, I see Carmelo just did it. And that was more of a look like, oh shit.
Like he know. Yeah, like it can, because it gives you that like the Triple H Shawn Michaels vibes of like, what was that, like 2002, and you know, and Shawn Michaels is like,
the unsanctioned
I knew it was you, Hunter. I know it was you. And it's like, you're damn right it was me. You're damn right. You know, so it's like, you know, but Melo obviously isn't gonna like man up to it. It's just when he gets caught and it's like, dang, bro, and then true colors show. I ain't gonna lie, I got this a little wrong. I almost kind of thought maybe Melo would have probably won this back just because I'm like, Dragunov didn't necessarily need a long title reign per se, and I thought like Melo probably would have got this to then probably set that up where Poetic Justice would have just been like, Trick beats Melo, becomes champion, and Melo gets his send off to the main roster kind of thing. But evidently they got something differently planned, which I do think Trick will get that title eventually. It's just maybe he's the guy to beat Dragunov. Who knows?
Yeah, you're right. And that's NXT Halloween Havoc. Fun show. We're going to always talk about it as we settle in our new home on Tuesdays for the GRESH Unleashed podcast. Audio version will be available Wednesday mornings as per usual because we're live, but you also got the audio listeners who don't really peep the show live, but they peep us when we can. So that'll be available to you guys as well. And that concludes NXT Halloween Havoc. But so we might as well talk a little bit about main roster stuff before we get on to our main course of this podcast. And that question is, it's mainly a question more so, but should Sami Zayn be World Heavyweight Champion in 2024? And that's basically, I'm asking that question based off of his showing on Raw, like the promo that he cut.
Well, part of me says yes, while another part of me says no.
Elaborate a little bit on why you say
Okay.
yes or no.
So the part of me that says no is because I feel like he's lost his heat since the top of this year
Mm-hmm.
when he was going into the fresh out of the bloodline, turning on Roman. Like, you know, it kind of like what they're doing with LA Knight right now. It's like, it seems like every time someone's hot, they want to catapult them to Roman. And it's like, no, don't do that because
We all know he's
already
gonna
know
lose.
you're gonna lose. So it's kind of like, but I get it because Roman has to obviously have some babyface challengers. So I feel like Zayn kind of lost that momentum, especially once him and Owens kind of like tagged up and all that. It was like the focus is no longer on you as a solo star, and so even with them being split now, I mean, yeah, I could see it. So the part of me that's saying yes is saying obviously you want to see him because clearly when people like Drew are saying, well, you wouldn't be able to relate because you've never been a world heavyweight champion. I mean, obviously that narrative is now in his mind, and that's the goal, to be a world champion. So obviously we know Sammy can be that. I'm not against it, but I feel like they have to build that some kind of way. And whether it's against Seth or against Drew or whoever is champion by the time they get to that point with him, I want to see it built up in a way that gets him as hot as he was fresh out that bloodline situation.
Okay, I can see that point of view because it's like it's like if it's the Sammy from NXT, like the 2015 Sammy that they do, because when he cut that promo, I was getting kind of those vibes, the zesty baby face that was just passionate about getting the title. I wouldn't be against it. And especially if it's against a heel dominant Drew McIntyre who just doesn't care what anyone else is saying because he's been done so wrong to the point where he wants to hurt you beyond belief. So I wouldn't be against Sami Zayn being world champion in 2024. I saw someone, I believe it was Humble Wrestling on Twitter. He was like, Sami Zayn wins the world heavyweight title and loses the title to Gunther at Bash in Berlin in 2024. Because we all know Gunther's getting that world title at some point.
At some point, yeah.
It's just a matter of, it's not a matter of if, it's just when.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not mad at that. That would be an ultimate moment for sure. So yeah, let's hope it trends the way we see it. But yeah, I'm not opposed to it if it happens for Sammy.
Speaking of Gunther, Gunther versus Babyface Miz, does that interest you at all?
Okay, a little bit, yes, because I saw the fans get behind Miz, which was very interesting to me because it seems they're starting to respect Miz now, like for real respect him. Like, yo, this dude really is like a legit Hall of Famer. Like, Miz is finally starting to get that respect based off his resume of what he has truly done and his longevity. When I saw this, I said, this is interesting. Normally, Miz is, when he does this, it's a troll and he's actually just a cowardice heel. But I'm like, no, he's actually being babyface right now. He's getting babyface reaction. Now, if you go back to the last time The Miz was a babyface, that was not good at all.
That was with Shane McMahon, wasn't it?
Yes.
Remember when it was a tag team and then Shane turned on him, and that was a match at WrestleMania 2019, that long ass WrestleMania.
Yeah, I kind of forgot about that version. I was actually going even further back to when
you talking about the 2015 one?
Yeah, when Ric Flair gave him that figure 4, and it was like, that was a horrible babyface Miz. But I forgot,
that one, people kind of like that one, the one that was with Shane, against Shane.
Yeah,
sort of.
I forgot about that version of the babyface Miz. So again, I'm not opposed to it because I like what they're doing, and the fact that I really loved when Miz was like, look, I made that title prestigious at one point in time, and I have no problem doing that again. The way the crowd reacted to that was like, yo, again, put respect on Miz's name because he really is one of the best Intercontinental Champions of all time, for real, for real. Like, it's him, Dolph Ziggler, Chris Jericho, and now you can say Gunther, obviously, with that record being broken. So, I mean, dude, yeah, I'm a little interested. I'm not gonna say I'm like super excited, but I'm interested to see where this goes.
Oh yeah,
Especially,
same,
you know,
same. Like it's a like people like expect like they like it's a trend to hate on the Miz, and it's like at this point, do you really hate the Miz, or is it just because you want the likes and the
yeah,
interactions? Because I know you're looking at what I'm looking at. Like yes, he's not the flashiest guy in the ring,
hmm
but neither was the guys that most of y'all cheer as kids. Neither was Hulk Hogan. Neither
Stone Cold,
neither neither was Stone Cold when he got injured.
yeah,
Like
The Rock,
The Rock, and that's another thing. A lot of people like to bash on Abel Rain for not being like this ring technician. But it's
hmm
like y'all acting like The Rock was a ring technician. The brother, his finisher was an elbow drop,
yeah,
the most basic move out of anything you can do.
and they
Like
clown his sharpshooter all the time.
and like, bro, his sharpshooter wasn't a sharpshooter. It was a standing like leg lock
Yeah,
because
yeah, pretty much.
it was not hurting no one's back at all. So it's like that whole like Miz not being like it's just cool to hate the Miz. And
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not finna be the Miz's biggest cheerleader, but I'm not finna act like he doesn't cook when they tell him to cook.
Oh, for sure. And just like how we expressed with Charlotte, John Cena, I mean, The Miz is just another example of appreciate him while he's here because when, especially with the way, I know we talk about the pun of Hollywood Miz here, but at the end of the day, this man is crossover mainstream appeal. So when he gets to that point of full retirement where he's just doing other non wrestling things again in the future, you're gonna appreciate and miss that guy. Like, man, I miss that entertainment that we got from a guy like Miz, or that sly, conniving, want to hate you vibe. You know what I'm saying? So just give that man his due respect, and let's see what happens with Gunther, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that's be something interesting. One thing that is interesting, DIY's new music.
Hmm.
They have new music now.
Def Rebel.
Def Rebel.
You know, the trend with them is they're up, they're down, they're up, they're down, they're up,
It's like
then they're down twice.
every Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, they give us whatever Charlotte Flair's music is.
Mm-hmm.
For every EO Sky song, they give us whatever DIY song is.
Mm-hmm.
And for whatever Trick Williams song, they give us whatever the hell this Rubber Heart version is they got for Johnny Gargano.
Mm-hmm.
I'm at that point now where it's just like we gotta talk.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like, I mean, to be fair, I don't think CFOs always hit on their themes either.
Oh no.
You
Jim
know.
Johnson was the GOAT.
Yeah, for sure. Jim Johnson was goated.
And even he had some misses.
Yeah, yeah, there were some misses, but you know, for the most part, everybody's just not going to have the best theme. Just face it. At the end of the day,
It sounds like a Go-Go Power Rangers on Tubi.
that would sound about right, given that both of them are kind of like nerdy in a sense. So yeah, I can see that.
Go
Yeah.
Power Rangers.
DIY, you know.
It was so fucking weird, bro. Like
Oh,
it
man.
was crazy, man.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins basically told Drew McIntyre to him like tough break, nigga. When he's talking about why people like his transgressions, he was like, boo hoo. Like, all right, congratulations. You've been through stuff. Like, I guess because they basically reference him winning the WWE title in front of nobody
Mm-hmm.
in the Performance Center. And he was like, yeah, we was all going through stuff
Mm-hmm.
during the pandemic. Like it was people it's like people saw their family and some people didn't see their family. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like, what you crying for? Like that's basically what he was like. What you crying for, nigga, man? Like what? What you doing?
Well, yeah, I mean, when you put it that way, for the most part, I'm kind of siding with Seth here on that because, truth be told, yeah, what I mean, everybody went through what you went through, my guy. I mean,
Tough break, nigga.
Yeah, well, I mean, we feel bad for you and all. Like, yeah, okay, you didn't get your moment in front of fans, but neither did a lot of those wrestlers, unfortunately. There were other people that won titles during that same WrestleMania with no crowd. You know what I mean? So, hey, dude, you just gotta accept the fact that when your moment's here, your moment's there, and take it. Are you gonna take it this time? We'll see. And even then, man, here's the thing. I mean, all due respect to Drew, I mean, in this heel version, if you're getting in that route, like, are the fans going to cheer organically for you the way they would have back then? I don't know. We don't really know.
That's another question. After seeing that promo that they did for Drew, I had that another question came up. It's like, why does every opponent that Seth faces feels like they should win the world title? When it was Shinsuke, I felt that way.
Yeah.
When it was like
Finn.
Is it more so people wanting Seth to lose, or is it more so because they are building them up right?
I think it's because they're building them up right. And the reason I'm going to go with that route is because every person he's fought to this point, now granted, in fairness, when he first won that title, he was just handing out title shots to whoever wanted him, for crying out loud. At that point, it was like, oh, so you get a title shot. You get a title shot. But now his opponents lately have had reason behind it, like a story. And it's almost like Triple H has been rebuilding these opponents that Vince basically broke down and sent in the middle of nowhere. And so, like, of course you're rooting for Finn because you're like, oh, yeah, Seth, you did kind of cost that man the Universal Championship.
Mm-hmm.
And he was never the same since, right? Shinsuke, that's right. You won the Royal Rumble and literally low-blowed AJ Styles. Like,
repeatedly.
That was your thing as a heel. And they just ruined your organic babyface and your theme song, which was over. And now here he is in this new devious way. It made you want to see him with the title. Even now, I still want to see him with it. I like what he's doing right now with this evil anime boss kind of thing. You know what I mean? So Drew's just another case. Like you said, that promo is just reminding you of, oh, yeah. I mean, but ironically, in this case, it seems more like, bro, you still got beef with the bloodline. You really should direct that back to Roman somehow, but you're on Raw, so I get it. You kind of have to. So where Seth fits into this,
because he dropped the bar where he was like, I'm gonna break your back just to win the title. Like, I'm gonna break it all the way.
Mm-hmm. Pretty much. So it's like, all right. I'm looking forward to how things turn out at Crown Jewel for sure. See how that goes.
And then we have new week, same main event in a way, but the live crowd loves it. So I can't really complain about it because we had Sami Zayn versus Damian Priest. It's been like, while we were away, people don't understand. While we were away, it's been the same Judgment Day versus various forms of baby faces every single week, to the point where they're interrupting a promo is becoming a meme on social media. I guess.
Yeah. They weren't kidding about that bloodline stuff, man. They that's exactly what they're doing. Cause
what you think they're doing with Cody though?
You know what? If the rumor's true about Mr. Orton coming back, at some point he'll be a crossroad, pun intended, to him getting back to his story. I would think. And that just depends on what they do with Orton when he comes back, because obviously they may keep him babyface for like maybe a month or so and then go to the Orton we know. But Cody's just, in the meantime, going to be occupied with Judgment Day. We see he's got Priest. You know, that's a nice little mini feud. He's just enduring mini bosses right now, pretty much.
He's been doing side missions and whatnot, because I know he's former tag team champion with Jey Uso. That was the thing, too.
Yeah,
so
pretty much.
And he only gave them the title for like 9 days for some reason.
Yeah.
So
That's all they can do.
it's an interesting thing with that, but it like from on my point of view, if I've like I didn't even watch the main event, like I don't even know how the match went. I just started watching football because I'm like, you see one, you see them all.
Mhm.
But at the same
Absolutely.
time, if the live crowd, because the live crowd are loving every second of it, so you can't really complain too much.
Oh yeah, and if they love it, then that's what matters, man. Because at the end of the day, you want your fans to not be bored, and so I'd be lying if I say I stood up. I slick dozed off from it. Not even gonna lie to you, dog. I slick dozed off, but it's just because, like you said, when you've seen it over and over, and over, it's just like, bro, okay, enough of this Judgment Day, Cody, and all that stuff. But at least it's progressing to other things, so you gotta have your fillers.
True. But what is pretty much considered a filler, gonna switch gears to SmackDown. Do you think LA Knight should have been placed in this position like this, going up against Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship this quickly? Or should he have won, say, the US title for a little bit and then challenge for the world title after he dropped it?
I would have said win the mid card title first for sure. But if you think about it, he's a babyface. Rey Mysterio's a babyface. It just wouldn't have made
Like,
sense.
what if he would have was the one that took the title off of Theory instead of Rey Mysterio?
That would have made more sense to me. I mean, he would have gotten a hot reaction for sure. But apparently they chose a different route. And I mean, I love this for him personally. I just hate that we know the outcome because unfortunately, it's not like this is going to dim him. Like he'll still be a hot babyface, a top star. It's just that moment's going to have to wait a bit as far as like a main event title. It's almost like him and Drew should have switched places.
He should have been on Raw going for the world title and had Drew staying on SmackDown going for the Universal Championship because in a way Drew was screwed by the bloodline.
Pretty much. I mean, in
like
that,
Drew should have been the one traded to to SmackDown instead of Kevin, is what you're saying.
Yeah, if you think about it, because what has Kevin really done since being traded over there? So it's
he was just chilling in the back.
Exactly.
He did a double punch to Theory and Grayson Waller.
Exactly.
Who has a beef with Taylor Swift apparently.
You see, and that's why I'm like, man, I for one think they probably should have switched places, but LA Knight is definitely going to be a future champion of some sorts in terms of the main event title, but it's likely he'll have this spotlight, get his payday from it. You know how Roman likes to say his stick. You're going to get your payday. You're going to get your butt whooped. And then I'm going to win this, this and that. So you're going to get his payday. You're going to get his star power.
You're going to take his ass whooping that comes with it. But you'll never take my place at the head of the table.
Yeah, that's pretty much how this is looking for our guy LA Knight right now. But he'll have his moment. It just ain't right now. And he'll win a mid-card title or a tag title, which I hope it's a mid-card title. You don't need no tag team title. So we'll see how that goes.
Well, we'll see how that goes. We're done talking about WWE for the time being. So have you been keeping up with AEW?
Yeah, for the most part. Clips.
Jump scare. Ric Flair is in AEW.
Are you surprised, ladies and gentlemen? Because Lord knows I'm not. I was like, okay, to do what exactly?
If that dude wrestles, I'm going to literally just laugh profusely.
Tony Khan better not. You better not. Don't do that to that man. Please don't. Don't entertain it. None of that. I saw him on Threads or Twitter, one of those, trying to say, hey, I ain't the one to hype this and that because you saw Christian throwing shots. And I'm like, don't you have Christian over here trying to wrestle Ric Flair? Don't do it. Swear to God. Don't do that, man, like that. Do not. So, yeah. I was just like, okay. I was like, all right. Cool callback, bro.
Congratulations. He was Sting's gift for his retirement tour because he does plan on retiring next year, and knowing Sting, that'll be a legit thing because there's nothing left for him to do. He ain't winning no titles.
No.
There's legit nothing to do. And then apparently Tony Khan's supposed to have an announcement tomorrow. So, and it's a running thing, or that what if this happens? What if this is that announcement? What if Ronda Rousey is all?
Man, listen. That better not.
What if that's that's the next graphic we get? The all Ronda Rousey is all elite.
Man, God help us all if that's the case. Because let me guess, suddenly we're going to care about AEW's women's division since she's there? How did that work out in WWE? Oh, that's right, it didn't. No, please don't. Just make your TV deal announcement with being on Max and you got a library. That better be the announcement.
Like, this better be it.
And
real quick, TNA Wrestling is back. Impact Wrestling is rebranding to TNA Wrestling, and I can tell you guys that going forward on this show, when we get more condensed with time, we'll cover Impact. They just had Bound for Glory, and at Bound for Glory they just rebranded to. They said in 2024 at Hard to Kill it will be, which is apropos because TNA has been LOL TNA for nearly 20 years now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So they ain't going nowhere. So, So that leads me to this question: like, what does TNA need to do to make this reboot successful?
I'd say for sure, stray away from do what you did organically that made you what you were. But yet, don't be so quick to go grab people from WWE or AEW like that you feel you have to get eyes to your product. You know what I mean? Like when you think about prime TNA, you think about AJ Styles, you think about Samoa Joe, Christopher Daniels, Elix Skipper, like the list goes on. Shark Boy, all these Awesome Kong, Gail Kim, like all these people, Mickey James, Tara, all these people that like built that foundation of what they were. Even Jeff Jarrett, for that matter. So, like, I'm not saying you don't have to get some names. Like, I heard somebody, I think it was Ango, that mentioned Will Ospreay, for example. Like, the talks of where he's going to end up. People are like, would he end up in WWE? Would he end up in AEW? He pitched the idea that it would be great for them if he landed in TNA, mainly because of the fact that they need a flag bearer. They need somebody that's like the face of their company that's literally just carrying that brand on their back. You got Roman Reigns doing that for WWE, right? You got MJF over here doing that for AEW. TNA doesn't have that yet. They have wrestlers, a lot of talented wrestlers, but would you really say their main champion right now is the face that's going to carry that company? Get a Will Ospreay there if you can, and next thing you know, it's like what you had with Kurt Angle when he came in 2006. All of a sudden, when Kurt Angle arrived, TNA just changed the whole game from a wrestling standpoint. So that's kind of my 2 cents. I, for one, as a TNA fan, from like day one, definitely I'm excited to see the name. I really do hope they get the 6-sided ring back, just because
I doubt it.
I know.
I think wrestlers say it just sucks to bump in. So
it's just the fact that the uniqueness of that was what kind of also added to it. But I get it.
I'm honestly, if they pick up the with this reported new production that they have, like a whole new setup, like that, as long as the production is consistent as far as like audio, visual, like if I can hear the crowd, let me hear the crowd. Like make sure it's balanced. This is coming from someone who's in the industry of audio, so I know what I'm talking about. So it's like if it doesn't, if like long as that quality has increased, like you have people who actually know what they're doing with the production, like make it seem like a legit third company. And I'm gonna be honest with you, get it on the network that everybody has. Like try to reach out to the CW, try to reach out to whatever network you think you can appease this alternative to, because I don't have access TV. I watched through YouTube membership, which was, but it's like a 30-minute delay because I guess they want to make sure it syncs up with the live broadcast with the commercials, so that way it can be synced. But at the same time, it's like I would rather get the full TV experience. But I'm not complaining about being on YouTube. Like I just feel like from a point of view, like if you want to grow organically, you got to get it on a network that people have access to, and it's not Access TV.
Did they end that live stream through Twitch where they used to stream it?
Yeah, it's done. It's strictly YouTube membership. So you have to pay like what, $1.60 to get it on YouTube, which isn't it doesn't dent anybody's wallet, but at the same time you have to convince them to buy it. I have the Ultimate, so it's like I even get the pay-per-views like a month after it airs. So I didn't really watch Bound for Glory live. I'm gonna watch it when it gets on YouTube TV. But it's like stuff like that. Like they need to get. Same thing with MLW. I think they're on I forgot they're on some type of network. I forgot the name of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say because one promotion, just speaking of CW, I believe.
NWA. You know they out there smoking crack.
Yeah,
on pay-per-view.
Yeah,
legitimately, like it was a whole thing. I'm like, they out there smoking crack, so they're on the CW.
Yeah.
Will I watch it? No. I'm not even gonna hold you. No, nothing in NWA entices me at the moment. So
me either, brother. And
but other than that, honestly, with TNA, it's just really straight to the point. Like they just need to get on better network. Like keep the consistency that they have been doing for the past 4 or 5 years under Impact. Like keep those stories going. Like if you want to step outside the box, step outside the box. If you want to be unique, but just don't do LOL TNA. Make sure your decisions make sense in the end. Like don't just overthink it or just do anything. Like don't put the title on Tyrus like a certain other promotion. So it's like stuff like that.
Yeah,
for TNA, for this reboot to actually be a success, just honestly continue to do what you were doing as Impact, but just now do it under TNA, and just really be in. You have to really be in hibernation mode, like rehabilitation mode. Excuse me. You have to rehabilitate that name, because every time anybody hear TNA tits and ass, as Vince Russo said, bro, it's LOL TNA. So it's like they really have to. It's cool that it's back, but you still have to. You have to be careful. You really have to be careful. And I'm not saying it's just to be a trend or whatever. This is just coming from an actual fan who watches it consistently now. You have to be careful with this rebrand. But Scott D'Amore, he's been doing it. He's been cooking. He's been killing it. And so I have a little faith in him. So there's that. Last thing before we talk about we give our speed round preview and predictions, get up out of here because it's literally midnight. You know, I'm surprised anybody's listening to this right now. But yeah, did you peep that WWE Superfan about Vladimir Abozai?
I did, brother. Unfortunately, I didn't get to actually finish it. I got about maybe midway through it because I had to step out. But from what I was catching of it, it was really a touching experience because that term superfan was actually something that you don't really hear often. But it makes so much sense because we still see and know a lot of these superfans, such as they mentioned, like Sign Guy, and then there's the Yep. Yeah. And then there's the black lady that's in the memes that we don't hear about as much. She's in those memes that we see all the time. And I see her at every show as well in the front row. There was the guy that time that also went viral when The Undertaker lost.
Oh, with the bulky eyes.
with the bulky eyes. Yeah, he was a super fan too because you would see him at every show. So
We
yeah,
actually met a few super fans. Like
we
I
did.
forgot his name, but yeah, like we saw him in Detroit. So that's what I'm saying. Like we know a couple. Like and it's like for those of you who don't know, this story is basically the story of Vladimir Obozai. I hope I didn't butcher that. One of the most devoted and recognizable fans in WWE history, who came to Manhattan from Haiti as a child and quickly found his passion for living through wrestling, sports entertainment. It's pretty much a 30 plus minute documentary. It's not that long on Peacock that was finally released after an extended delay in release, but it's finally here. The documentary started off with a nice over the shoulder shot of Vladimir standing outside of MSG in 2020 during the height of the COVID pandemic. And we got a nice overlay montage of various wrestlers like Jeff Jarrett, Shawn Michaels, Bruce Pritchard, and WWE Auto. It was a nice little opening right there. And then they took us back to October 20th, 1986. It was a nice and subtle opening sequence, and they showed Vladimir getting involved in a Piper's Pit segment with Roddy Piper, Paul Orndorff, and Bobby the Brain Heenan, where he got to pick Roddy's partner, which was Hulk Hogan, and the crowd absolutely loved it. Then they show more clips of him being a super fan throughout the years and started hyping up the ideal of being a WWE wrestling super fan. They talked about various myths about him always being there because we always had it like with Green Shirt. We was like, bro, what is your profession? You are always in the front row. They say he's one of the superstar. One of the myths they talk about is like he's one of the superstars' friends. And this one got a chuck out of me. He was one of Vince McMahon's bodyguards, a personal trainer, and took him on the road with him because he was always in shape. Like he was like so buff at that age. And someone thought he was a lottery winner and quit his job and went on the road with WWE. And it was like, how you think winning the lottery works? Like that money's going to run out. So he's going to like, all right. And Bruce Pritchard thought he was Russian for some reason, which I can see it because he kind of. I don't know if he's white, like or he's like a lighter Haitian, but he's actually Haitian. So that was a nice little little chuckle there. They then cut to New York City in 2019, where they talked with Vladimir, where he told his backstory. He was born in Haiti and he followed his mom here to the States, who was a single mother of 6, who was a hardworking woman, and over time he went to work to support her, and then he started watching WWE and fell in love with it. He remembered his first seat section. I don't even remember my first seat section in AEW, which is weird. I don't even think I had the ticket. I think I lost it. But he remembered his first seat section for the WWF live event in Madison Square Garden, the mecca of sports entertainment. And he went to, and the rest was history. And we got like Vladimir reminiscing his past experiences as a fan, meeting wrestlers at bars and stuff, wherever he went. He was at Raw in 2019. I believe it was an anniversary show where Stone Cold was there. So I believe it was one of those Legends nights, probably. And then he's been to 34 WrestleManias. I ain't been to one. Hopefully I can change that in 2024 if my money's right.
Yeah, man.
But because it's like I'm trying to at least go to one before I call it quits on traveling to shows and just stick to watching it on TV, just to say I have that experience. They referenced the WrestleMania that was canceled because of COVID, and they mentioned how his mom died and how she died of COVID. And it's like when that happened, I'm like, oh, that kind of got me in the feels for a minute when I was watching this. I ain't gonna lie to you, I kind of teared up a little bit because it's like just lost mine. So, and how he tried to unalive himself 3 times because he missed his mom so much. And it's like, and I think that's the reason why I started crying, because it's like I get it, because I can put on a strong face, but it's like you when your mom is there for you and your rock and you're pretty much helping you in life and you have a good relationship, you will never get over that. So it was like that kind of got me in the field, but he eventually got help. Like he's doing good and he goes to therapy to this day. They then show Vladimir's memorabilia, which looked like a walk-in closet. of various merch that was thrown at him from like wrestlers and action figures, etc. They then show video of Shawn Michaels, Jeff Jarrett, Sergeant Slaughter, Hulk Hogan, etc., giving him a shout out via video during the pandemic, which was so sweet. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like that was a nice thing for them to do for a dedicated wrestling fan. And he was so thankful. Like he was so thankful, man. I can't tell. Like him thanking his mama for bringing him into this world. I believe he's like 65 now because it's 2024 now. So, and it's like, I believe since that was filmed in 2020, he was like 62. He's going to be 62. And then they showed him showing up to WrestleMania in 2021, the one that was the first fans back in attendance, and him interacting with wrestlers and executives in the back as if he was a wrestler himself, and him just being excited. It kind of, it was emotional from the mom part, but then it kind of like got me smiling because it's like, in a way, in quick fashion, in the best way possible to say, wrestling saved his life. Wrestling legitimately saved his life, and they presented him with a plaque, like certified him as the official WWE superfan. And it's like he was like, "Mom, I finally made it. I finally made it big time." And that's what he was like. That's what he would have said to his mom. And then they showed him reacting to WrestleMania both nights. And he was like, "If you take away wrestling from me, I have no life." And I'm like, that's real. Like Vladimir, he's been to over 1,000 WWE events, but it's like when he said that, I'm like, that is real, because it's so many people who, it's so cool now to say, oh, wrestling is fake, or you still watch wrestling at your big age. But it's like, if you don't understand, when I lost my mom, wrestling helped me with my sanity a little bit. Me joking on Twitter, that kept me sane. That kept me going. That kept me like from wanting to I don't want to say what I wanted to do, but I wanted to join my mom at one point. But hearing you, DJ, BK, Lorenzo, my homegirl, my best friend for life, Bree, Daniel, all these people telling me like, yo, you are strong. You are like, that kept me going. And wrestling kept me going. Wrestling, football, like getting into wrestling. Like people think I legitimately hate the Falcons. I don't care if they win or lose. It's just a joke at this point. But it's fun interacting with people. People don't understand, like, this experience has saved my sanity. So I related to this documentary a lot with him saying wrestling saved my life, or if you take away wrestling from me, I have nothing. I have no life. Because it's like when you have that hobby that you just so passionate about, you get it. But this is a good documentary that I feel like people should genuinely check out if they haven't done so already. Like that was a good experience. Definitely check out the story of WWE Superfan, the story of Vladimir. It's about 30 something plus minutes, 37 minutes, I believe. It's on Peacock. Fun, like wholesome watch. Like if you haven't checked it out already, honestly, WWE, put him in the Hall of Fame. I don't even care. Put him in the Hall of Fame. And as we wrap up today's show, because I feel like we've been going on a little long, it's very rare that we're gonna go this long in the future, but we had a lot of catching up to do. We're trying to get the feel for it, but we're gonna give our speed round preview predictions and get up out of here for WWE Crown Jewel this Saturday on, I believe, Peacock. It's gonna be at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, and they got a kickoff show this time. It's an actual kickoff show. It's a kickoff match, I should say, which is apropos. We start with that. The kickoff match, it will be Sami Zayn versus JD McDonough. Who you got winning this one?
Sami Zayn. JD still earning his way. He's gonna still take them licks.
Yeah, we both got Sami Zayn on this one. So Sami Zayn to win the kickoff. And then next up, we have the Women's Championship match, the returning Bianca Belair versus my girl, my heart. She has my heart. Io Sky, the Genius of the Sky. both of them have my heart, but Io Sky has my heart because I've been like I was there when she won, when she debuted on the main roster. We was there when she won the women's title from Bianca at SummerSlam. But I don't know. It's like I doubt they having Bianca come back to lose. So as much as it hurts me, I had to go with Bianca winning the title back. Who you got?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bianca, bro. I think Bianca going to probably winning this title back for
So I'm
something.
saying I doubt they have her coming back to lose. Like, I mean, if I wouldn't be surprised, but I doubt it. Next up, we have John Cena in his first one-on-one match since WrestleMania this year against Solo Sikoa, the enforcer of the Bloodline. I want to go Solo. The Solo, they already lost. The Bloodline lost at Fastlane. They don't need to lose again because I want to go Solo. But you might feel different because you're kind of hesitant.
I mean, for John Cena to rub in the fact that he hasn't won a championship match, or not championship, a regular singles match in God knows like over 2,000 days. But then again, Solo doesn't lose that much in a solo tip, so heck, screw it. I'm gonna say John Cena wins because why else say that he's lost, hasn't won a match in 2,000 days? So I'm going Cena.
Okay. Next up, we have Cody Rhodes versus Senior Money in the Bank and one half of the tag team champions, Damian Priest. I'm going Cody.
Yeah, Cody.
Like,
I mean, you know how this goes with Money in the Bank. They don't win matches until they win the match. So yeah,
true.
Cody.
Straight to the point, Cody. Next up, we have the United States Championship match versus where Rey Mysterio defends the title against Logan Paul in the customary Logan Paul big match. I saw somewhere where people say they wouldn't mind Logan winning the title here. Do you agree or disagree?
I agree. I will explain that in a explanation video that I'm working on currently. But I actually do have Logan Paul taking this championship. All I'll say is that it kind of feels right. But tune in to my Instagram soon, and I'll have a further explanation and a deeper that one.
So we're gonna go split on this one. I'm going Ray. You going Logan?
Logan. Okay. All right.
Okay.
I like that. All
right. Next up, we have for the Women's World Championship. Don't you love it that they got rid of the brand specific titles? That was another thing since we last been on the air. The brand specific titles are gone for the women. So it's Rhea Ripley defending the Women's World Championship against the returning Nia Jax. She's also back. Versus Shayna Baszler versus Zoe Stark versus Raquel Rodriguez, Lady Back, if you will, in a Fatal 5-Way match. Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, Rhea Ripley.
Like
the question here is who takes the pin. I guess Zoe.
Zoe maybe, or I won't be surprised if they do Raquel again.
Yeah, to me, it'll probably be Shayna or Zoe that takes the pin in some kind of fashion. Because they're going to protect Raquel a little bit more. I know they're going to protect Nia.
Nia, she just got back. Yeah, they protecting the hell out of her. They brought her back for a reason.
Oh, yeah. No doubt.
So she's getting protected. And then the co-main event of the evening, we briefly talked about it, but Seth Rollins defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Drew McIntyre. As much as I kind of want Drew to win, I expect them to keep the title on Seth.
I agree. Only because if Seth was going to lose that title, I feel like he would have lost it to championship defenses.
Yeah, he would have lost it to Shinsuke at this point. Like the way they repackaged him and went like in depth. They flew the Great Muta out at one of those shows. If he would have lost it, he would have lost it to him. So it's like, do you think that this loss would basically solidify that Drew heel turn to where he's going to just snap on Seth and then finally win the title
For
from
sure.
him?
For sure. I don't know if he's gonna win the title. I mean, that's the tricky part is I don't know if he's gonna win this title at all per se, but we're definitely getting a heel Drew somewhere from this.
Okay. So we both going Seth on this one.
Mhm.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then we have the main event of the evening. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief, defending the undisputed WWE Universal Championship against the one, the only LA Knight. Yeah. Will
Yeah.
LA Knight win the title? No.
Nah.
So we both picking Roman Reigns, huh?
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah. So it's like, will there be shenanigans? Yeah.
Oh,
Will
yeah.
it be a fun match? Yeah.
Should be. Yeah.
Will it be, and will you get a close near fall with the blunt force trauma? Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Will he win the title? Nah. No.
Yeah, Jimmy Uso shenanigans will be in there somewhere.
Yep. So that's another thing. The Usos split up since we've been off there. A lot has happened since we've been off there in these past 6 months. A lot of shit has happened. We've had the Bloodline Civil War. We've had the Usos split up. Jay Uso with the "It's just me, Us," and day one. A lot has happened.
A lot.
A lot has happened.
Ooh,
And
what a
that is
time.
our speed round preview and predictions. And before we get up out of here, we have a new segment, one final segment that kind of closes up out of here. And it is a song of the week where both hosts, myself and Highlight, picks a song of the week. And basically it will be posted on social media to kind of give y'all in the mood. And the mood that I've been in was Margarita, Sleepy Brown, Pharrell Williams, and Big Boy.
Okay.
I played that song. I'm like, that song popped up in the playlist, and I was like, that's the vibe I'm going with. So we're gonna go with Margarita on my part. What song you got for him, bro?
I'm gonna go with a throwback here. Left, Right, Left by Drama. One of those militant type songs that just kind of get you in a. So it was a '90s song at one point, or you could even say early 2000s. But yeah. I don't know why the song was in my head when I heard it. It's just like, yeah, we're gonna roll with that.
Let's roll with that. And speaking of rolling with that, hopefully you guys roll with the return of the GRESH UNLEASHED podcast, episode 45. We're going to be live. We're going to try to be live every Tuesday, and Highlight will be my co-host for the foreseeable future for select episodes. If he's not available, I will try my best to get a new co-host so we can keep the vibes going and keep it rocking. But he's going to be here for the most part, and I'm going to be here for the most part. If I'm out of town, we still gonna be live because that's the thing we're gonna be doing. Like, we're gonna make it work. I will pay that extra fine to get high-speed internet from the local hotel, whatever hotel I'm in. But we're gonna be live. We're gonna talk the wrestles. We're gonna keep it pop. We're gonna keep it popping every single week that we hear. And also, we might as well go ahead and announce it because we both agreed to it. This Saturday, we're gonna be going live to talk about Crown Jewel. Make sure you peep that post show. It'll be not immediately following Crown Jewel because we don't know what time or what type of time they're going to be on as far as like how long or how short. But we're going to aim at probably like a 5 o'clock post show. And we're going to be right back here talking about it, giving our immediate thoughts and reactions for WWE Crown Jewel live from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. And with that being said, I've been the voice that does the most. That's been the voice of the Unleashed anthem. Make sure you guys peep that song for sure. But if you haven't already, make sure you follow me on social media at Josh Gresham. Whoa. It's at Gresh on Twitter, but at Josh Gresham ORG everywhere else. But you can also follow Highlight as well at Highlight Life over on Twitter. Oh, matter of fact, plug your stuff for us, brother.
Hey, man, you already know what it is. I mean, you see it right here scrolling if you pay attention to the scroll, but all today, follow your boy on Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff at Highlight Life, HILITE Life. And, of course, if you want to support the Life Sabotage podcast with yours truly, and shout out to my co-hostess, Ash Benny, you can follow all things Life Sabotage podcast on all social outlets, including OTS Media Co., which you can also follow. Shout out to the homie Derek for the OTS Media brand. Yes, sir.
Yeah, all right. And you can also support the podcast itself at Gresh Unleashed. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, or you can simply visit the www.gressunleashed.com, which is your central hub for all things where you can subscribe to check out previous and current episodes. Make sure you keep it locked on all socials because we're going to be reintroducing the Talking Ish segment, our interview segment, where we're going to have some guests. I'm currently in the process of trying to see who I want to bring on the show because it's a different vibe, but it's going to be still a good time. But with that being said, you guys stay safe out here. Get you some sleep. It is officially Wednesday, but it's still the same Gresh. And remember to always make sure you guys check out all the new music that just dropped representing this brand. Make sure you check out the Patreon, follow us everywhere. Unleashed Anthem, Talk My Ish, is available now on all streaming platforms. Make sure you guys peep that and basically run it up. Run them streams up. It's a good time. It's a good song by yours truly, Mr. Highlight Reel. It was a fun time interacting with him, doing that and putting that together for you guys. And with that being said, you guys stay safe out here in these streets. And remember, in the words of my mom, Mama Gresh, be true to yourself. All new beginnings start in the letter 7. And remember to always eat, sleep, flex, and repeat. We out. Y'all be breezy. Hey.